Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's yours truly, Ria Wilkie, also known as Coach Ria and also the Thought Leader. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Thursday. Well, my friends, today we are going to play one of our episodes, Spring into Action for Success, with yours truly, myself. Giving you a few tips on how to clean up some of the stuff that, we always know about spring. It's a cleaning time, right? Well, what about cleaning things in our mind, cleaning our things in our life that makes us move forward and succeed in whatever it is that we do? And next week, we will have a live show discussing some travel tips. When you go to a different country, when you travel abroad, some of the suggestions and tips from my recent trip to Asia, but specifically to Japan. Until next time, enjoy the show, and we'll speak with you next week. Have an amazing weekend. And remember, it takes one step at a time to make changes. So don't look back unless you need to use some of the things that you've learned from the past to help you move forward. Until next time, enjoy the show. Are you ready for some insights and suggestions to help reinvigorate you and your business and put the spring back into your action steps? Well, if you answer yes, stay tuned for more details.
Welcome to the Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. Your host is a certified executive coach and trainer with the passion to help make the difference in the world. Your Life Now show brings you powerful resources and effective tips to help you manage your life and your business at its best. And now, here's your host, Coach Ria.
Hello, my friends, and welcome. You are listening to Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. I am your host and the executive producer, Ria Wilkie, also known as Coach Ria. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Season 7 of Your Life Now show. We are so proud, and thank you for your support, and thank you for being here. Happy spring, my friends. I hope everybody is having an amazing, wonderful day. Positioning yourself and your business for success continues with Spring into Action for Success. So happy spring, my friends. March signals the end of the first quarter and the start of the new season. A new quarter and a better way of doing things. So spring is the best time to evaluate your goals and your plans for success. And on this show, we try to share a lot of helpful information and tips with you to help you position yourself and your business for success. With our great guests, with our co-hosts, and with yours truly. So before we start the show today, I'd like to share with you my intention of hosting and continue to do this show. My intention of hosting Your Life Now show is to inspire change and transformation. I'd like to inspire you to make some positive changes in your life and in your business so you can have the success that you desire personally or professionally. So all I ask of you is to have an open mind and an open heart. Take what is useful for you and question everything. After all, it's your life, so why don't you live it your way? We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will get right into our today's show. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you for being here.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Ria will return in just a few moments.
Welcome back, my friends. You are listening to Your Life Now radio show. I am your host, Coach Ria. Thank you so much for being here. A lot of people ask us, what is it that we exactly do at Your Life Now? So I'm going to just give you a quick intro on us and what I do myself as the CEO of Your Life Now. I started this company in 2008 with the intention to be the change that I wanted to see in my life and around me. We have evolved from life coaching to become an expert at leadership coaching, training, sales training, marketing, business management. Throughout these years, I have been certified in so many different areas to help grow my business. On this show, I try to share with you a lot of the tips and information that helped me get where I am right now. And I will continue to grow, and I will continue to evolve as an individual and as a business. So our company, my company, Your Life Now LLC, focus on small to medium-sized businesses. We focus on helping you build your team for success, how to manage your team through our leadership services. We also help you with your marketing strategies, how to position yourself and your business for success, whether you are a startup or you are a small to medium-sized businesses or you are an entrepreneur and you need someone to be by your side, helping you find solutions to your everyday needs. Whether we do these solutions internally at Your Life Now LLC or collaborate with other experts in the different areas that you need help with. We also work directly with the business owner to help them manage their business, help them with their strategic planning. We offer a continuous service through that. As a certified social media strategist, I also try to help with a marketing aspect in social media. As I mentioned, we also work with a lot of other people who are in the profession as a marketing expert. We customize the services that we offer based on your need, on your specific needs. We provide solutions. Therefore, the simplest way to describe what we do, we are solution providers for small to medium-sized business and also startup. So if you'd like to schedule an intro meeting so we can get to know each other over the phone, if you are local, I welcome you to contact me directly and meet up for coffee or something. But if you'd like to schedule whether a phone call meeting or in person, I invite you to go to my online calendar at meetme.so/Coach Ria. That's www.meetme.so/Coach Ria, one word. You can also request some more information by going to yourlifenow.info and send us a request contact. All right, my friends, spring is here, and it's time to spring into action for success. It's the perfect time to plant the seed of success. Did you know we only reap if we plant seeds? We also reap what we plant and reap after we plant. So there's a process, there's a nourishing process, and today I would love to share with you some helpful suggestions and action plans, idea to help you and your business achieve the success that you desire. So let's go back to the basics. What's going on? You know, you always hear me saying, the now is all that it matters. But when it comes to business, what we have done, and this is what we talk about, reaping the seeds of our plant, the reaping the plant of our seeds that we planted. And that's what spring represents to me. So spring represents the new, spring represents, life, right? Everything goes dormant in the winter, into the season, and everything starts to grow. So what you have planted last year, what you have planted before, Like I say, people plant tulips, people plant, we hypothetically speaking here right now, then the stuff start to come out, right? Even the stuff that completely looks absolutely dead, right? Trees and stuff like that, they all come back to life. The leaves, the flowers, and then the flowers turn into a blossom leaves, and then it turns into fruit, and it turns into whatever it is. And it is no different of what we do every single day in our personal life and also in our professional life. We're talking about our business. So it is important, I always say, it's easy to say that you had a bad day today, right? And then you wait for tomorrow, and tomorrow comes, and then you realize, well, it is still not a great day. And then you hope for tomorrow again because you think tomorrow is going to be better. But what is important when it comes to the business, not only what you're doing right now, it's what you have done yesterday, the day before, a matter of fact, every day in the past quarter. What some of the things had worked for you and what some of the things had failed you. And this is where the learning process and this is where improvement comes in, and this is where we can plant a new seed, right? We only reap if we plant seeds of success. So if you want success, you must have planted seed of success. If you plant, let's say, tomato, you don't reap apples, and vice versa. So you need to be specific exactly what is it that you want and what is really going on. So how many good days? If you can try to evaluate, because here what we're trying to do, and I'm going to try to do this in 2 sections because there's so much to try to cover. So in this section, this part 1 of Spring into Action for Success, we're going to try to evaluate what you have been doing in the past quarter. I will share some suggestions and tips with you. So I do suggest that you do take some notes. And you kind of, try to re-listen to the show, share the show if you want to share it with other people who you collaborate with or you work with or your team, and see if you can find some helpful information in what we're talking about here today. So how many good days do you think you had so far? Did you stick to your daily plans and goals? An action plan? Or are you slipping and you need to get back on track? So you have to answer that honestly for yourself. Now, if I'm working with you directly, this is one of the things that we do. We evaluate what you have been doing thus far. So take a look, make a point to really actually evaluate how many good days you had in business that were really good. What stood out? What insights? And write them down. And recognize that it's okay to fail, but also recognize it is not okay to just think it's okay for you to fail. Because when we do the work, when we follow through, when we nourish those seeds, when we nourish the seeds that we planted or we planted now, we are more likely to reap good fruit and reap good success. But the process has to be followed through. We must always know exactly what our goals, what our plans, what our short-term focus plans, and what are the long plans for your business. And you can apply this to your personal life as well. But I love what I do, and I'm very passionate about it, and I can tell you why. Not just because I'm saying it, it's just because really I have gone through what I'm teaching, and I love teaching the stuff that really had worked in my professional career and continue to work. And I continue to learn, I continue to improve, and I'm here to share with you some of these helpful tips and suggestions. So the first thing we need to do is to really evaluate the work that we have done thus far. Acknowledge the good, and then acknowledge the stuff that did not work. I think that the best way to do this is to really stay neutral. We tend to be the worst judgmental. We judge ourselves so hard. We tend to be so hard on ourselves. And doing so, it does not really make you a better person. I think, when you challenge yourself, you could be pushing yourself to do more and to do better. That's different. But when you judge yourself and you constantly, thinking like everything you're doing it amounts to nothing, and you live from those old programs that you were told, owning a business is very difficult, running the business is very difficult. You are not a good fit to run your own business. I have to tell you, I proved everybody wrong. I came from a corporate background in corporate sales and training. I worked big accounts, big accounts. And one of the things I've always known that I wanted more. I wanted something that I could call mine, even though I worked very independently with the corporation, the companies that I work for. So I've learned to actually be disciplined. I've learned to work on my own. I think one of the things, applies to people who are just starting out, or people just feel like, they're not motivated enough to actually get up in the morning, put that business attire on, even if they work from their home and their office is in their home or it's outside, whatever. And it's just feeling is just a drain in them. They don't want to do it. They're looking for Friday because the weekend is going to be here. But anybody who actually been running a business know that it takes not only your discipline and your compassion and your love for what you're doing, it takes you knowing, you are doing your best. And as long as you are doing your best, I think the next step will reveal yourself to you. But you need to examine what's working for you and what's not working for you. So again, this is applied to whether you have been in business for a while, but you are struggling and you're listening here to get some helpful, tips on how to improve your work ethics for your business, how to improve your marketing strategies, how to improve your sales, your overall sales, how to work your clients, how to respect your clients, that that your clients are your treasure, and you need to treat them and value their business, and then work from there to help get more business from those clients that you already have. And that's what I did. So back to the notebook, back to taking notes. The first thing obviously this is, I don't know, I'm trying to speak to you individually, but in a general way. So whatever it is whatever position that you are in, again, whether you're starting a new business and you're looking to start, you have this idea and you don't know how to take it to the next level, or you already have a business and you just been in the business for a short period of time, and you have been struggling and you just don't know exactly where you're going, where you're coming. Or if you are an entrepreneur and you just want to learn more about how to create, a good relationship, professional relationship with other entrepreneurs, so you can grow your business and grow, your products and services. So take a look, examine that first quarter, be honest to yourself. You're not sharing this with anybody unless you want to share this with somebody, and I would recommend that you only share things with the people who matter into what you're doing. And the reason for that, because you really want to try to avoid any external negative feedback that is not relevant. And we all know there's a lot of that out there. And as I mentioned, I've heard that before, People tell me, oh, businesses don't last more than 5 years, and startup, this, and you can't do this, and it's so hard, and women in business, and so on and so forth, and obstacles, and this, and got thrown at me so many different times. But I always stood tall. I looked up and I said, you know what? My eye and my sight is on my goal. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the purpose of it? Rekindle that love for your passion for what you're doing. Why are you doing that? What purpose? What gets you to start doing what you're doing? And write those down. Some people, they just do it because of the money. They don't put passion in it. And then they ask themselves, it's like, oh, wow, I just lost this, and I just dropped this, and I just did this, and whatever. Because their priorities are set on focusing on just the money part of it, not the business part of it. Because I can tell you, money will show up if you're doing everything else that needs to be done for your business. So if you're focusing on the money first, and then the rest after, you're going to run into a lot of problems. And yes, we all are in the business to earn good money. But earning good money, you want to ask yourself, why should someone pay for your service or for your products or for whatever it is that you have to offer? What makes you different than the next person or the next company or the next entrepreneur? Why you? What makes you so different? This is what you're selling. This is what you're presenting. And in order for this to come out really clear and sincere, is to have some kind of passion for what you're doing and loving what you're doing. We all had a job. Some people listening right now have a job, but they really looking into starting their own business. And they're trying to learn, and they're trying to figure out the whole idea of getting into the business. This is the best time to be an entrepreneur, to be a business owner, to stand for something. This is the best time. So even when you're working for somebody, I do, try to use myself as an example. So when I worked in corporate sales and I handled big account, not every time I did really enjoy the products and the services that I was actually selling. But what I did enjoy is the connection that I made from those sales. So for me, it was building relationships, connecting with other business-like people, and learning and continue to educate myself. Because in the end of the day, as I mentioned before, it's you that stands out. Whether you are the CEO of your company or you work for somebody, whatever place that you are, and you're thinking about starting your own business, think about that. Think about how you feel about yourself. What makes you successful and what differentiates you from other people? It's that compassion, it's that love for what you're doing. Not necessarily the product and services, like I said, but you have to find some kind of harmony so you can be selling any products and any services and still have passion in what you're doing and build rapport and build trust with other people and build businesses and help businesses achieve their goals and needs. This is what I love about what I'm doing. So when I work with the small to medium-sized businesses and we work through building their team through our coaching, leadership coaching, and we train them on how to look for, with strategic planning, how to look for, the things that could work for the business, a particular business that they have, and what kind of resources, what kind of things that they need to, invest in themselves. Because that's a great way to actually be noticeable in the business world, is to really just stand out. Not by being loud, not by being, right in the competition things and just, I have better product than you and, and I have better product than so and so and so on and so forth. You cannot build your business on someone else's misery, right? I always say that. I actually had to remember, a past client who did measure his success in that prospect. But that changed because what was important to him, it didn't really matter. It didn't matter what somebody else was doing. But if you wanted to learn something that to help you in your business, you're going to learn from people who have done it and have succeeded, right? So those are people who are not competition to you. Those are your influencer. Those are people you can look up to and learn from their ways and then find your way, your own individual way, your unique way to stand out. I invite you to explore new possibilities or improve on the current action plans that you have. Spring into action. Taking action is what makes things move, right? Action, moving, doing things. But doing things in the right way, it's what makes most of us successful and some of us are not. So let's take a short break. And when we come back, we'd like to talk a little bit more about, after what we evaluate what we have been doing thus far in the first quarter, we're going to think about what is it that we're going to be doing in the next step. So please stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Ria will return in just a few moments.
Light is an essential nutrient. The reason the gardens are outside and in the light is because we know plants need light. Sunlight, light, is essential for life on our planet. Break it down. Photo meaning light, bio meaning physiology, modulation meaning change. Intentionally put light on the biology of a human or an animal, and you will see cellular change.
Okay, my friends, welcome back. You are listening to Your Life Now radio show. I am your host, Coach Ria. You heard light is essential for plants. Happy spring, my friends. An amazing sponsor and amazing people. Light is life, right? We need light. And let's talk about spring. Let's talk about shedding the light on what is it that we're doing. We talked about examining the first quarter of this year. How many good days have you had? What had worked? What some of the things that did not work as you expected it to? What makes you stand out? What's your passion? Why are you in business? Or why do you want to get into that business? Martin Luther King, we know, said, take that first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take that first step. So when we started in the business, I know it was scary for me. 2008, I started my business. I started my company. I started the business. I educated myself. I got a few certifications to be doing what I needed to be doing so I can train and teach what I do. But that didn't stop there. It's a continue working. It's continue education. Continue to improve skills. To figure out exactly, because I think the hardest thing to do is to really find our niche. And I have to tell you, my niche is really speaking and talking and training. This is what I love to do. Everything else I do, it just becomes as a part of who I am as a speaker, as a trainer, as an educator, because I am a student first and educator second. That's how I look at myself. So my business really was developed around training. It started in one direction as a life coach and a business coach, and now I also have a marketing degree. So now I'm taking all my skills and sharpen them and see what else do I need to improve on my services and what I can offer. And as you heard from the beginning of the show, how I told you I present myself and my company as a solution provider. I do work with other strategic partners and experts to find the perfect solution for each individual client that I work with and we work with my team. And that's the best way to really look at it. Why did you get into this business? What passion? Why do you want to be in business for yourself? A lot of time people will tell me, I get into the business of being working for myself because I don't want to work for anybody else. I don't want to report to anybody else. And I say, that's great. But what else? Do you think that's enough? Is that enough for you to build a business and have a successful business? Ask yourself that question. I don't believe it is. I think we have to have passion. I think we have to have the discipline. We have to have the determination. And we need to take action every day, every day, every day. We need to be organized in our own way of thinking. We need to get rid of everything that is not working for us. What I mean by that, any thoughts, any programs that you already have right now that is working against you, it's working against you. So no matter how much you go in life, you're going to run into these obstacles because you never really dealt with them to begin with. So when you do have some not so good days, don't lose hope. I think entrepreneurship is an adventure. And like any great story, if it has peaks and has valleys, right? It has peaks and valleys. So we all got up and down, up and down. Lean into the successful people that you have around you and take your first step in that faith. Like I said, Dr. Martin Luther King, take that step in faith. That whatever the journey leads you, it will be for your greatest good, right? That's what you have to believe. Act or accept. It's all a matter of a choice. You can act as is, or you can accept what is. And for me, I actually had this conversation yesterday with a great friend of mine that we know each other back from college. And then I asked her this question. I said, are you happy with what it is, or do you want more? She said, no, I want more. I said, what are you doing about it? So this is where act or accept. So if you act, that means you're taking action. You following about what you want. You're trying to make, do your research, do your fact finding, understand what your niche is, what makes you really, really, really happy. And then go for it. Take that step. Or you can just say, well, this is the way it is. We live and then we die. And we just live because that's what was given to us. That's your choice. I cannot tell you either one is better for you. It's your choice to decide what's better for you. It's your choice. Your business, your life, it's all up to you. You design it by your own choice. So after you evaluate what has been done so far in the past quarter, and you took your notes, you looked at the things that had worked, and you acknowledged some of the failing days where things were not really that great, and you jot them down, and then you try to understand exactly what happened, why you failed in that area, why those days were not good, what was going on there. And when you have idea, I really highly recommend. I used to always say, I am walking, breathing tons of ideas. Ideas come to me from every angle from wherever. I don't know. I'm very inspired. A lot of things inspire me. You inspired me to continue doing this show 5 years later. So always be inspired to take and to think beyond what it is. Because honestly, many, I think what's his name, Tim Plexus, says many great ideas go unexecuted, and many great executioners are without ideas. One without the other is worthless. I'm going to repeat this. This is a really good quote. Many great ideas go unexecuted, and many great executioners are without ideas. One without the other is worthless. So you need to have an idea. You need to know exactly what it is that you want to do, right? And you need to execute on it. Because otherwise, it will just stay as an idea. And like I said, people just do things, but they don't really have no idea what are they doing it and why they're doing it. And that's why it's worth nothing. So let's just take it for example of entrepreneurs, right? A lot of people are going into, this is a trend now for businesses to be an entrepreneur. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, that's great. You will need that big idea and the vision. But that is only enough for just a few people. If they don't step into action, these people are stepping into action and they're doing things, but otherwise, it doesn't work. You have to execute on your great idea, or that idea is not a great idea. So if you think about, I think, we can mold life like it's a clay, right? If you take a clay and you can shape it and make shape out of it or whatever. So your life is like the clay, and it's really up to you, like I said, to form it in whatever shape you want it to be. You like it or not, you are responsible. You are 100% responsible for whatever you are, for wherever you are, and what you need, what is going on with you right now. So the best way is, again, evaluate, manage to see what next step that needs to be taken, but don't lose sight of that big ideas that you had, and you step to execute that idea, and then just keep working on it, but keep reviewing. So you go back and you review what you have done so far. And if you don't know how to get started, get a mentor, get someone like us to help you, to coach you on how to take that idea and execute it to become what you want it to be, to shape it into the form that you want it to be. I mean, that one action, that one step that you take alone can help you totally transform the rest of the year for yourself and for your business. So if you have an idea, but you don't know how to get started, as I mentioned again, get a mentor, get somebody like us at Your Life Now to coach you on how to take that idea and turn it into action and execute it in every possible way to make it come to life, to form it into the form that you desire. And it's really, really important that you keep reminding yourself why you want to do what you want to do, or why you got into this business, or why this big idea for you. What does it mean to you? And how do you see it? How do you visualize this as a future company or business? What does it look like? And write it down. If you can't draw, write it down. And then see how you can keep connecting the dots. It's like a big giant, I call it big giant painting, right? And then just try to put everything on that painting. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be, if you're not an artist and you can't draw, just write things and make circles and try to connect the circle together and highlight and make notes and look at it. Put it on the wall somewhere in your office and look at it. What does it look like? What does it need? Is it clear? If it's not clear, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to write down, why did you get into the business? What is your niche? What is the idea? What is the idea? What makes it different? What makes it so important to you? Why do you value this product, this idea, this service? What steps, what strategic planning do you need to have in place to take this from an idea, from a product, from a service, to an actual business that you earn an income doing? Failing is a natural way. It's natural in any business. We do up and down, like I said, 8 years, and I'm feeling so good about being so positive the whole time about what I'm doing, and continue to take the steps and to move forward and to improve on. Am I already there? No, I got a long way to go, but I am in a good place. I see the picture very clearly, and I am just keep adding to it to make it the perfect business, the perfect picture of what my idea, or what my business wanted to be, or I want it to be. And like I said, there gotta be not so good days, and there gotta be some great days. Some of the days will have you feeling like you've been defeated, but you really never are defeated. Really, truly, never defeated. It's a great feeling actually when you realize it's like you doing this for you, and you just like you. It's not like a fighting, but you just like so determined to see it through. So maybe your idea or your business might not work out, but does not mean it's the end. No business loss is forever. And the end is what you wanted when you want it to be the end. Try to reinvent your idea, or try to reinvent your business, your products, your services, and present it to the world as a brand new. Because maybe something, and that's what I've been working on myself, because I keep trying to tweak things. And, people ask me, what is it exactly you do? Because people think I'm still a life coach. So when people have an idea about you or about your business, and you want it to be a different, or you want it to feel like this is not your thing, and you doing different things, reintroduce it to the world. Make it clear. Make it specific. Winston Churchill said, success is the ability to go from failure to failure without losing your enthusiasm. So you got to always have that high enthusiasm about what you're doing, why you're doing it. And he also said, never, never, never give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't quit and stay stuck in your old ways of thinking and doing. Make this your best year ever by getting the support and the resources you need. Then you want the business to succeed, and you are inspired to just make a difference in the world, and you want to reach so many people, but you got stuck. But success and action go hand in hand. Successful people, they continue on moving, and they keep moving, and they keep taking steps. They make mistakes, but they don't stop. They don't quit. They keep on moving. So, yes, motivation could be one part of it, but to me, it's more than just motivation. Motivation is a temporary emotion, right? I can motivate you right now to get up and start writing and doing things and examining. But if I actually teach you something that you think you see a value in, you can see why you need to actually follow through, because that's where you need the work yourself. To keep yourself motivated, that means you have to keep yourself in sight of your goal, of your dream, what your ideal business is. Like, I'm trying to remember who said that. He said the best way to predict the future is to create it. But you create it right now. That's why my business called Your Life Now. Your business. I should just be your business now too. Now is a good time to actually look at what's going on, what needs to be worked on, What's some of the things you need to get rid of? What's some of the new things that need to allow to be coming into your life, into your business? And start from there, right now. Accountability. Hold yourself accountable. I think this is a really, really important. Just to simplify it in another way, is just have your niche, your products, your services, your ideas always right there in front of you, so it can remind you why you are doing what you're doing. Every time you fail, every time you feel defeated, every time you have feel success, every emotion, it's right there. Okay, this is why I'm doing this, so I have to keep on doing it. In a previous episode, I shared with you many tips and suggestions on building your team for success. I invite you to re-listen to that show, to that episode, and take the information I'm sharing with you here today and combine it with some of the other information I shared in the other episode, and see how you can make it work in your life and in your business. And we talked about collaboration. We talked about building your brand, building your business, but also the most important thing is the people that you surround yourself with. You know, for me, it's more important for me to build strategic partners than to actually hire employees that report to me. So whatever and I'm not saying one way is better than the other, but just evaluate that. You know, does that, like, your overhead is too much and your business is you need this and you need that? Find a way to collaborate with other people who could be of service to you and you could be service to them. On a small size businesses and in network marketing, this works really great because you build, network marketing, you build your team, you motivate your team, you get them always pumped up about why they are in this with you. And you give them that, if we do this, if we reach, I remember from corporate sales, we used to meet every single Friday, and we had everybody's number blasted on the big screen. So my team had to be on the top, otherwise I would not show up, show my face. So why is this so important to me? Because I'm not me, I'm my team, right? And that's how you need to think about it. Think about the people around you. Think about the people who are working with you or your partner, whoever. That's really very, very important. So evaluate, assess, what's going on. Last quarter, we have 3 more quarters left for the year, right? What's going on? What worked? What didn't work? And what can you do different? But you got to write all these things down, right? Take a look and see where can you improve on, or what's something new. Like, do you really need to reinvent a new idea? Perhaps not. Perhaps you have something right there, right now, that is gold, but you just don't know how to work it. Again, reach out for some help from professionals, from experts, from people, from your team. If you have a good team of advisors that you work with, reach out to them. Mastermind is the greatest way to actually create a good team for yourself and for your business. Introduce the concept, not the idea, because you don't want to share your ideas, but introduce the concept. People who are, and you hand selected the people that you wanted to be in your mastermind. And ask them to give you their feedback, to contribute. That's what mastermind is. If you've never done one or you've never attended one, be part of one. They're great. They're absolutely amazingly great. Napoleon Hill has his stepmother as his mastermind partner. She supported him all the way, and that was his stepmother. One person. You don't need a whole giant, One trusted person that that you can count on. One trusted advisor, somebody that you can really professionally, they know what they're talking about, and they know they can, show you the ways how to improve on certain things, how to plan your business better, how to change certain things, how to implement new things in, and then go from there. Spring into action, my friend. So what's the big idea here? The big idea is be in business for yourself, do what you want, and have fun doing it. So I'm going to take another short break, and when we come back, we will wrap this up, and I invite you to join me next week again for part 2 of Spring into Action. All right, we'll be right back.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Ria will return in just a few moments.
We are so excited about the new things we are working on to make Your Life Now radio show the place where you can learn and share your message with the world. For more detail on how you and or your business can participate and get involved, schedule a free call with Coach Ria at meetme.so/Coach Ria, and I'll be more than happy to share with you how we can help you and your business by sharing your business and your message with the world. Whether your world is local or global, we have great solutions and ideas for you. For more information, contact us at www.yourlifenow.info. Again, that's yourlifenow.info. Welcome back, my friends. You are listening to Your Life Now radio show. I am your host, Coach Ria. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure being here with you guys. Spring is a great season. I love spring because for me, it presents the new life, like reinvented itself again. Things start to bloom. Things start to, come back to life. I invite you to really take a look at what you have done so far for yourself, for your business, and what are you willing to start doing going forward. What action step are you willing to take to start moving forward? So remember to invest in yourself. Take what you do seriously so others can take you seriously. Take the time to remove the rocks, the obstacles, the emotional debris, so the seeds can fall in a nourished ground. So until next time, my friends, take some notes, evaluate, recognize, take responsibility. Like I said, act or accept. It's your choice. But if you choose to act, ask yourself why. And if you choose to accept, why? Do you think you have no potential to succeed in your business because you think it is what it is? Reach out to me. Let me know how I can help you with your business. Love to invite you to connect with me and do an evaluation, complimentary evaluation for your business, and see what we can do to help you. Just one more thing. It takes collaboration, mutual agreement, and action to make the impossible possible. So go out there and celebrate who you are and join hands and make the impossible possible. Make sure you position yourself and your business always for success. Be present. Look for insight. Take action. Take a small step. Evaluate what you are doing. And remember where you are so you know where you are heading. Stay amazing. Much love to all.